Hello everyone and welcome to something a little bit different today. I'm not using the PowerPoint because I'm going to show you how to use this online tool, which is really cool. Link is in the blog, so it'll be good if you can get it open and follow along with it. Maybe another tab when you pause and switch between them if you're using a computer. So let's have a look. Do you know what this is and what it's for? Have a think about what you notice and what can we see? So some of you might be familiar with this. I did mention it yesterday in the whole class session, that this is a protractor and it's what we use for measuring angles, which are measured in degrees. We talked a lot about acute, obtuse, right angles, even a bit about reflex angles so far. This is really putting the numbers to it. This is where we get into the nitty gritty of actually measuring stuff. And measure the angles in degrees, which are these numbers you can see around you. It goes from 0 to 180 here. If you've got your own protractor at home, it can be really good to get it. What you might notice is that your one probably has two sets of numbers. So it's got one that goes one way and one that goes the other, like this. I can just switch between them by clicking. And then you could read the numbers on the inside as well. And that's because if you go, for example, 10 here turns into 170 because it's 10 less than 180. There is a baseline down here. This shows the right angle, and I put it on the square line so you can see what it is. If it's off, you can still see it's like a right angle, but the good thing is here you can see the square is a perfect right angle. And this protractor, there are some others that can measure reflex angles. This one measures acute and obtuse angles, and if you want to find a reflex angle, you would take away what your angle was away from 360 to find what was left. Now, when we do this, the corner of it wants to sit at the middle point in here. So let's do this with one. If I draw an angle like this, make it 105 degrees, you can see on this one it tells me the angle. We're going to look at how this works. So if I wanted to get this, I'd need to get this, and then I'd need to put it so that this cross, what we call the horizon, is on the corner of the angle. And then I would just move this around until the 0 here, do you see the 0, is on the line. Sometimes you've got to shuffle it a little bit. There we go. And that looks good to me. Maybe move it a little bit across. Ooh, not that one. There we go. I think that's right. And this goes from 0. And then if you go all the way around here, you can see it's halfway between 100 and 110. That's why it's 105 degrees. And we can still measure this even though it's upside down. We could try it with a few others. Let's see. If we, this time I'm going to hide, or I'd rather say calculate. Hide or calculate, I don't really know what the difference is. Oh yeah, over here you can see what it is if you click it. Let's go hide all. And if you press random, well, I don't like that one, that's a reflex. Let's try it again. Here we go, this one's a good one. So this one is an acute angle, you can see over here. It's less than 90 degrees. If I move this down, I'm going to line up that horizon. So the cross is on the corner there. And then I'm going to move the 0 so it's on the line. Now if I do it this way, it's not going to work, so I'm going to move it all the way around. So I get the 0 here. Aha! Now I can see that this line looks pretty straight on the red line. And over here, this looks like it's halfway between 60 and 70, so 65, maybe 66. Let's have a look. It's 65. Brilliant. Okay, what about a different one? Here we go. Oh, we're already underneath. Again, this is an acute angle. If we move this around here, what are the degrees here? We'll slightly move this. There we go, that looks good. What's the degrees here? What do you think? Well, here it's halfway between 30 and 40, so this should be 35. It is 35. Brilliant. Let's try one more. Oh, this is going to be a reflex. I don't like reflex angles for this. Let's get an obtuse one, that seems good. Okay, so what are the steps? Firstly, make sure the horizon is on the corner. It's on the corner here. Well, that's pretty good. Then we're going to move this around so that the 0 is on the line. Do you know what? To make things more complicated, I'm going to make it like this. So this time I'm going to put the 0 up here. There we go. That looks good. And now what's this? Well, there's 120. And then do you see these small lines there? I think it's between 1 and 2 after 120. So 121, maybe 122. It's 122. Fantastic. Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to get 3 random angles. If you've got a protractor at home, I'd like you to use a real protractor because it's better practice to do that. In which case, draw 2 lines in the next shape and measure the angles that you get from it. Any odd X shape, doesn't matter what you do. Just remember they've got to be straight lines, so use a ruler or even just the bottom of your protractor, like this. If you don't have a protractor at home, I'd like you to open up this website. I'd like you to try this interactive. I'm going to link a second interactive, but this one I think is the best one. Set it to hide all, press the random button a couple of times, and then see what you can do. Make sure you're practicing lining up the protractor perfectly, because that's the really important skill I want you to do today. And then there'll be a couple of questions I'd like you to do on the blog. Good luck, and let me know how you get on.